Thank you, Mr. Speaker. Mr. Speaker, I thought I'd made myself clear with my statement this morning, but I will reread my statement for the sake of Honourable Ngavoka. But before that, I want to make some quick response to the comments made by Honourable Ngerengere Tambua and Honourable Mbulanouda with regards to my statement this morning. Honourable Ngerengere Tambua, I note that she keeps reminding everyone in Parliament about the incident with the Honourable Tikundundua about 2-3 years ago. And it's good that she's taken up the fight, because I understand somebody had informed me that Honourable Tikundundua goes on Facebook every day complaining about the lack of knowledge in the public sphere about what transpired about 2 years ago, and is crying consistently over the Facebook pages to inform everyone. But now it's good that Honourable Ngerengere Tambua has taken up his fight. On that note, I hope that Honourable Ngerengere Tambua now sits in this honourable chair. There will be no fight from her. She talks about a missing drone in Taviuni that no one has been held accountable for or even surcharged. I want to make it quite clear, Honourable Speaker, that the drone had malfunctioned during the Taviuni Reserve Survey operation, and this was reported to the manufacturer, and as the drone was insured, it was replaced by the manufacturer. So there's really no big deal about that one. The survival rate for the 7.6 million trees and mangroves planted under the Red Plus campaign, the survival rate is up to 85%. This is, Mr. Speaker, a significant improvement from the previously accepted 50-60%. Honourable Ngerengere Tambua must be speaking with people who are so used to accepting the very low survival rate. That must have been some decades ago. The civil servants under this government have a totally different psyche. If we invest 100%, we try to get reasonable returns. The nature of trees is such that the ministry has to revisit the planted areas after every 3 to 4 months as part of the bid-up system. This is when they replace the trees that have not grown for some reason. It is advisable, Honourable Speaker, for Honourable Ngerengere Tambua to respect.
Pledge to harvest value-add mahogany industry. Now it's going to another topic that's irrelevant, Honourable Speaker, sir. So stick to the question, Honourable Speaker.
Honourable the Prime Minister is,
I've already said that I will come to that.
I've already given him the floor, so don't interrupt. You have the floor.
She talked about, I said, Honourable Speaker, that it is advisable for Honourable Ngerengere Tambua to respect the government workers who are trying their best to ensure maximum returns on the investment of their labour.
She doesn't.
When they talked about forest wardens getting quickly and properly compensated, forest wardens are paid a monthly allowance of $200, which is based on the submission of a monthly report. The ministry has no records of any warden not being paid for the reports they submit. The tree planting program involves fruit trees, which complement the Ministry of Agriculture. Specifically, the fruit trees are native to Fiji, such as Ndawa, Kavika, Hutu, and Tarawau. The Ministry of Forest still has pending annual reports. The Ministry will be tabling the 3 outstanding annual reports at the end of the year. It has cleared outstanding reports from 2014. Tree planting dashboard on Ministry of Forestry website. I have explained this in my statement, Honourable Speaker, just to go to show that Honourable Ngerengere Tambua was not listening. The housing rehabilitation involves the repurposing of pine trees that were blown over by the tropical cyclones. This is especially so for her island in Kandavu and Hunolevu, where government has prepared timber for more than 500 houses. Honorable Gerengere Tumboa seems to think that we should not help the communities to rebuild their homes. Another baseless comment from her. And out of the 7.6 million trees planted, 5.1 million are pine trees and almost 1 million are mahogany trees. The balance of 1.5 million are a combination of native trees, fruit trees and other high-value commercial trees. Again, I've responded to the question about how many of the trees are fruit trees. I strongly urge the opposition members to please listen and to understand. The civil servants understand the importance of both the respective ministerial duties and the collective efforts to control the spread of COVID-19. It is a sacrifice they are making for the sake of the country and the people. They see this as a moral obligation, and I hope that the opposition are not going to belittle their efforts and intentions. I want to make a few comments about what Honorable Mbulunauda said, and he seems to be stuck. He seems to be stuck in the 90s when the factory asset was falling apart under his directorship. We now have a modern setup at the Pine Group. Mr. Speaker, there is now greater collaboration between the Fiji Pine Group and the Fiji Hardwood Corporation Limited. We are trying to see if we can avoid duplication of effort, which only lead to wasted resources. We are trying to see if they can share resources such as the state-of-the-art sawmills and machineries. Honorable Mbulunauda is referring to dividends as commission, which only reflects his lack of knowledge and understanding of the group and how commercial corporate entities operate. During his time as director for Fiji Pine Group, they could not even pay commission, let alone dividends to the pine landowners. It is absolutely out of touch. And in addition to dividends, the Pine Group provides the following returns to the landowners, stumpage at the rate of 12.5% when the trees are harvested. Lease rental, which is paid 6 monthly, lease premium at a time when leases are renewed, 2.5% contribution towards Landowner Community Development Fund, 3% contribution towards landowner business development, engagement into various operations within the Pine Group. Forestry exports in the last fiscal year, 2021, had increased significantly to $95 million. In the previous year, 2019-2020, the exports was $52 million. So there's something wrong with his reporting. On the other hand, imports in 2020-2021 was only $12.5 million, much lower than exports and a much improved trade balance. This is, of course, contrary to what Mr. Honorable Mbulunauda is claiming. It does not provide figures. It is a pie-in-the-sky claims, like he always had. Value adding will depend on the market demand. Honorable Mbulunauda is again out of touch. He simply doesn't understand the supply and demand model. Just says, well, he's not in government. He would have made government bankrupt. Honorable Mbulunauda has no understanding about shareholding structure and how different classes of shares work. This is despite him being a board member of Fiji Pine Limited back in the 1990s, when the Pine Group was on its knees. On its knees. That's where he's getting his fact from. Simply, government shares are B and C class, redeemable preference shares which has no dividend rights. The landowners have Class A shares, which is the only class that has dividend rights. To redeem shares, Fiji Pine Limited will need to pay to government whenever it makes profits and decides to redeem. There is a total of 61 million B and C class redeemable preference shares that Fijian government owns. Therefore, Honorable Speaker, what Honorable Mbulunauda is proposing for is landowners not to be paid dividends now, and these funds be diverted to redeeming shares. It will take around 20 to 30 years to redeem 100% shares if Fiji Pine Group continues to make profits. And what will the landowners get after the shares have been fully redeemed? Nothing. That's what he wants. only wait for 30 years without any dividends, and at the end of 30th year, they still have the same 100% dividend rights as they have now. We want landowners to get their returns now. This is the reason why we are paying dividends based on Fiji pine profits and not diverting the funds towards redemption of shares. This is what government gives to the pine landowners. Chips, Honorable Speaker, are not processed from logs that can be converted to sawn timber or other value-added products. When a tree is harvested, the first cut from the bottom is a saw log, which gets processed into sawn timber. The top end portion of the tree is used to produce wood chips. This is because the top end does not meet the diameter requirement and has many defects. Therefore, the comment from Honorable Mbulunodo only shows his lack of understanding of the entire business process. Mr. Honorable Mbulunodo has forgotten that Fiji was at the receiving end of the most severe tropical cyclone to hit the southern hemisphere. In any case, the Fiji Hardwood Corporation log production since 2017-2021 shows an increase in production as 2017, 1,914 cubic meters, 2018, 15,560 cubic meters, 2019, 19,676 cubic meters, 2020, 21,572 cubic meters, 2021 forecast is 42,000 cubic meters. Honorable Speaker, I need to make those statements to correct the misinformation that the people on the other side of the House, honorable members on the other side of the House, have been informing Parliament and, of course, the public. But going back to the question, Honorable Speaker, I have made a statement this morning that just about covers everything with regards to plans to harvest and value-add mahogany in Fiji. But if Honorable Ngavoko wants me to reread the statement to him, most welcome. Thank you, sir.
Thank you. Honorable Mbulunodo.